it's Kim Corallo. Shut the front door too. We are a wreath, door hanger, vintage gift store. We are based out of Lexington, Kentucky, which is where all of the items ship out of. Our booth spaces are in Nicholasville, Kentucky. We have a hair salon and an Etsy store. The Etsy store is still on vacation, but we just want to tell you that if you see anything that you like, even though it's an extra step, just reach out. If it is still available and shippable, we are happy to give you a quote and get it listed to Etsy for you. If you're new here, consider subscribing. We mostly show vintage finds here on the YouTube channel. And if you have been watching for a while, thank you so much for being here and coming back. Let's get started because it's cloudy in Kentucky today, and this video is looking maybe just a tad bit dark. And to be honest, I'm not going to go downstairs and grab out my ring light because that would probably take the amount of time that I have to do the video in the first place. So let's get started. Let's get started with this beautiful vase. This is obviously it has butterflies all over it. It is really, really beautifully done. The stamp here, first of all, let me just tell you that I am no expert, but I have learned that the back stamps are really what tells the story of these vintage Asian type pieces and even some of the other pieces. So the back stamp will usually, if you Google lens that, it'll tell you, obviously we know what this is. Sometimes, you know, I just need help of even like figuring out what the item is. It's not a good source to give you the value of an item. You really need to look for sold comps on that, but it will at least tell you what the item is. It'll give you, just on the back stamp alone, it'll give you the year of which the item was produced. And without having done any research on anything, I haven't even cleaned the items yet, but this is gorgeous. I would guess this is probably late 70s, early 80s. So I'll be interested to know if I'm guessing that correct with the information that I have. Let's go ahead and show you this piece. This is a German piece, and I actually found two. Guys, these are in pristine condition. They are two just the same. I loved the colorway on these. I loved the color, but the thing that was really interesting and I found amazing is that the gold, usually when you have like this gold detail that's been added to these urn type pieces and ginger jars and those types of things, a lot of times it will be worn. And these look like they had just been painted yesterday. They're amazing. So really excited to get my hands on both of those. Let's go into some pottery. I love any kind of pottery, anything handmade. It always has a real dear spot in my heart. This was actually, this is actually M.A. Hadley pottery. It's out of Louisville, Kentucky. I don't think it's being produced any longer. And I will tell you that it's not my favorite. Like, I don't pick up every piece that I find. I pick up the pieces that are unusual and still have purpose. And the salt and pepper shakers still have purpose. They need to be cleaned. But there are collectors of this pottery out there, and I don't think it's being produced any longer. So I think that it, you know, is what also makes it fun to collect, because you know you just can't go and find it anywhere. You have to really search out the pieces. Picked up something really different. Actually, I could have picked up a lot. There was a whole collection donated of these mustache mugs, and I'm going to be honest with you, I just went on a hunch. I think I picked up two. I could have picked up probably 20. But I don't know. I just thought, you know what? I'm just going to pick up a couple, see if my customers, my followers, my peeps like them. I know they're desirable. I know other people are really having good luck with them, but I've never tried them before. But I don't know. I liked this one. And without knowing anything about them, I could have left the most valuable ones behind. But to me, this one was really pretty. It sort of has an Asian scene, and it could be hand painted. I'm not exactly sure about that. You'll hear me say a lot that milk glass and clear glass are favorites of mine. And the reason why is because they are year-round pieces. They go with any holiday, with any season, and they mix in well with any pattern. This is actually pink milk glass. It's going to come across probably more white on the camera. Unfortunately, pink milk glass usually does. I don't pass up the colored pink, greens, or blues in the milk glass. I don't pass them up because they're not a real common find in my area, but especially when they're little jars that don't have any disclaimers. It's in really good condition. It has the lid and the little feet that gives it just that extra detail. And these are great for bathrooms, for bath salts. We spoke earlier about pottery and how much I really love pottery. It's just that handmade factor that I know someone really took a lot of time and effort. This is obviously a vase, and its shape and size and really that colorway with that little bit of green really did it for me. It's perfect on a stack of books, great for a side table. I'm not going to pick up a lot of figurine type of things, but I love animals. I think that they're not as common for me to find, and maybe that's why. But this is an Andrea by Sadak piece, and I think this is probably 80s, but I'm not sure. The reason why I picked this up is, for one thing, it's in really pristine condition, no condition issues, but it fits in well with let's get here. Pieces like this that I find that are unusual, you know, maybe 70s. It has the brass and the wood, and really great for shelving units and side tables. Has more of that Ralph Lauren type of flair, something that's, I could see this in one of his catalogs. But I think this would fit in with that style. Let's put this over here. But I also think things like this fit in really well with blue and white, and the people that like that more chinoiserie style. So I could envision this plate on a plate wall. I think it would also really look good on an easel on a shelving unit, and then with the tiger statue in front of it, I think that looks really, really good. So in doing these videos, I like to just sometimes give like just ideas, and that is something. So I don't know, instead of just saying this is for sale, this is for sale, this is for sale, although that's okay. I mean, you know, if you're watching these types of videos, you know that these pieces are going to be sold. But I also like to give you some, maybe just some little tips on how you could use things, and that way you don't, you know, can enjoy the video. You don't even have, you can just look at your own things and maybe think, oh wow, you know, that would look really good, or I have a plate like that, or I have something similar. I can make a little side table display. So that's why you will hear me oftentimes give those ideas. This video won't have anything tacked to the end, but I hope and I plan to be able to even give you video at the end to even show you how these items could be used in your own home. You could take the idea and run with it. I think that these trays are called Keurig, maybe it's Keurig. They're made out of California, and they are really, really desirable. I think this part is some kind of plastic maybe, but there's an inlay. So there's a stone inlay. This one is, and they make all different kinds. This one is actually a golfer, and it's a stone inlay. And then this part, the gold part, is a brass, So this was really fun to find. I don't see this I used to see these pretty often, and I just don't see them anymore. This size is really good because it also would look great just in an office setting on a bookshelf. I think that it would be a great gift for a golfer, a dad golfer, or a boyfriend golfer. And it's perfect size. Even though it's a tray, it could be stored flat or displayed flat, but it'd really look good on an easel, just like you would a plate. So I go through this looking at my hair on these videos, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I thought for a short second, long enough to get my hair to look like this, that I would grow my color out, but that's a no. I need to get on that stat. Let me show you this piece, because then that would free up some table space for me. I'm not exact. I mean, it's obviously a basket. It's got a real tight weave. There's no give, hardly at all, no bend. Probably this, I would think, is to put a plant in. So you would put a pot in it that's not attractive, and then your plant would, be in and kind of overflow. I thought it was really, really, really well done, and I liked the size of it. And right now, I think folks are probably going to be bringing in their plants, and that might be something that would be on there to look for list. Show you this guy. So plates, I love a plate. I love a plate wall. I love plates on easels. I love, I think they really can add a lot to a shelving unit as a backdrop. And when they're unusual like this one, I can't even, I can't even read that back stamp. I just think that things like this are so unique. This is hand painted. It's probably German, and I'm saying probably because I couldn't really see the back stamp, and I'll have to do some research. But this is what I'm talking about when I tell you that little unexpected. I'm not trying to say don't shop at Target and don't shop at the big box stores. I'm not trying to say that at all. But I think pieces like this are what give your home that little unexpected, that your neighbors, that your friends are not gonna have, because you're not gonna be able to find multiples of these. So that's what I talk about when I'm saying unexpected, layered, collected type of look. And this would really fit in well, I think, on a shelving unit. Another cutie little piece. This one doesn't, oh, it does have a stamp. Oh, daggone it. Well, I can't read that. This is probably also German, I'm gonna guess. It is the sweetest little bowl. And what makes this super great, it's hand painted, is that it still has the serving spoon. Now this spoon is pretty good size, so I'm not so sure this would have been maybe a relish dish. I'm not exactly sure, but it is so cute, and especially those little feet. And I was thrilled to be able to find this. Especially with the spoon. I find hand-painted plates, hand-painted bowls, not every day, but I find them regularly, but not ever with the actual serving pieces. These are the pieces that usually get broken or go missing, so that made it even just that little bit more special to me. I love vintage Christmas, and for myself, I'm talking 50s, 60s vintage Christmas. But it's harder and harder to find. And to be honest, in my area, I just don't ever find it. So I am starting to embrace the newer vintage Christmas. So like maybe your 70s, maybe your 80s, even early 90s. And this Santa fit that bill. He was going to be produced sometime in that time frame. He is silver plate, and you would put a candle here. And I just think he is really stunning, and the size of it is really good. It makes it really great for like that side table display. And with Christmas decorating, if you like to decorate for the holidays, I often say, being a business that we make handmade seasonal decor, and then we're also adding in with the vintage home decor, you know, storage is the big thing a lot of times, and people will say things like, I just don't have anywhere to store it. So what I like to tell you to do, if you still like it and you still want to do something in your own home, you don't have to do big grand displays, and you don't have to do your entire home. You could do just a little side table, maybe in your den area where you sit all the time and you could enjoy it all the time, and just a few small pieces that you can change out seasonally or change out with the holidays, and maybe it would just take up a little small area in a closet or a little small area, you know, under your bed. Those are just some ideas, because I do hear that a lot. I picked up some blue glass. This is just a little trinket dish. It's got the ruffled edge. I actually did test this, and it does glow green under a black light, which is all the rage right now. So I learned this not too long ago, that I've never really tested any of the other glass colors until recently, except for the obvious green uranium glass. But some red glass glows orange. It's got cadmium in it, and some of the older glass, even clear glass, will glow green under black light. So if you like that look, that's just a little tip that you can expand and start looking for, especially with the clear glass. I was totally shocked on that. Picked up an earring pair. This is a brass pair. The green stone in here is probably, shoot, I thought I knew what I thought that was, but it's gone. Anyway, it's a green colored stone. It's brass. The outer part is brass, probably 80s, but the size of them really lightweight, and I thought they were fun. Fun little ear bobs. Let me show you this piece. I picked up the two pieces that had the wood, and you can really tell we didn't clean this. The wood and the brass that are just really neat pieces that I think would look really good. I can see this. Honestly, it just kind of stands alone, but if you do have a little bit of a taller area, because this one stands a little taller, stacked on some books, I think would be really, really, really stunning. See it in a study, see it on a bookshelf, even a desk, even a desk in an office. Let me just go ahead and get the stuff on this side, and then we'll go to the other side. Love a cloche. This one's small, and I actually left behind, it had a little faux cupcake in it, and I left that behind. The size is small, and I don't have any idea what I would display in this. I would probably go think holiday and maybe do, you know, like a small pumpkin for Halloween. Maybe I would do a little small Santa or a snowman for Christmas, maybe a bunny for Easter. However, you know, the possibilities are kind of endless. I loved the little feet on this. That's what I'm showing you there. I would love to find a larger one for myself. I've never seen the really large ones that are kind of tall. They're kind of spendy, but I would like to find one for myself and put some old books in there. I think that would look really, really good, but I don't really see those. I don't think, other than on other people's pages, have I ever seen one in the wild. I know I haven't, or I would have picked it up. Picture frames are fun, and I really do like them. I don't pick up a ton of them. This one was sweet. It is probably early 80s, and it's blue and white. Blue and white is something that is just I hardly ever pass it up. But this Size is good. There's no glass. It probably didn't ever come with glass. There might have been like a little plastic piece at one time. But the reason why I did pick it up is I can also see, so if you're a store owner and you need signs, so maybe, or maybe you do vintage shows, or maybe you even do jewelry shows, but you need signs to explain about your business, that you take Visa, MasterCard, Discover, whatever, or maybe you have an earring special, 2 for a certain price, and it's all your earrings. I think putting the sign in something cute like this just takes it up a notch. It's just sweeter to me, and that's just a little idea. Of course, using a picture frame for its intended purpose for a photograph is always good as well. Boxes are a win in my opinion, and this almost has the look of being a purse. I don't think it was. I mean, I think it was intended to be a box. One of the things that I really like about boxes is they're great. They're great for coffee tables to put your remotes in. This one's not a stacker, but they're really good for stackers if they're flat. This would be something that I would put on a shelving unit and then build out the front. So if I had this, and then maybe, you know, I could put the picture frame here. Of course, it would have a picture in. So that just kind of gives you an idea. But I like it because of the materials, this bamboo. It's all wood on the underneath, and the little handle is fun. And it just had a cute look, I thought. Anything with feet, I'm usually attracted to. Okay. Moving a little fast today. Kind of really trying to not lose daylight. Cups and saucers are something that people genuinely like. And I know that there are folks that like to collect them. I don't pick up a ton of them. I see them pretty often. If they're super unusual, I will usually pick them up. This little guy I picked up because of the detail on the front. Here's the saucer, and there's no marks, and so I really don't know who makes this. But this flower detail on the front is amazing, and that is why I picked it up. I'm not saying you can't use it for its intended purpose, but I would think the person that's going to want this is going to be a collector, or someone who would maybe even, you know, put it in like a display case. Just maybe you don't even collect them, but you just think this, you know, just having an unusual cup and saucer, having it in a display case. But I think having it, using it, words are hard today, using it as a planter to me, and just having something small in there, maybe even something trailing over. Now, I don't think this had this chip when I picked it up. I think I did that somehow, and that is, here's another pro tip: when you're out shopping and you get excited and find things, always take the time to wrap them up, because you might end up with the chip. Now, even if it had that small, tiny little chip, it's on the side and it's not really visible from the front. And I don't think it would have been a deal breaker for me. But I do try to find things that have no discrepancies, especially when you are showing things and selling things online. I'm always a believer that people don't fully read descriptions, and I think when you don't have any reason to give them to be disappointed, it works out better. This is the type of box that I would use as a stacker. It's probably just oh, it smells really good. Maybe that's cedar. Maybe that's why it smells so good. But there's nothing decorative about it. It doesn't have its key anymore, so I couldn't lock it. But it's great to use as a riser on a shelf to give yourself some height. And here's a good piece. Like if you would put the pottery piece on there, I think that would look really, really good. I only found one of the candlesticks. I like candlesticks in pairs, but when they're unusual like this, I don't mind having just one. I don't think this is particularly really old. I think it's a reproduction to make it look old, but I don't mind that either because it's probably at this point still vintage. So I like, I like things like that for the interest and the warmth, and wood toned things really do bring in a lot of warmth when you're trying to do a vignette. Did I tell you? Oh, I did tell you that I picked up the mustache mugs. I think I may have picked up 3. And this was another one. It did not have an underplate, but I just like the guys on this one. I thought they were so fun and so cute. And really, I don't really know exactly what mustache mugs are for. I'm assuming that the mustache mug would have been to keep the guy from getting anything in his mustache. But this one's not particularly feminine looking. This one isn't either. But some of the ones that were on the table that I had to choose from were pretty feminine looking. So I'm gonna have to do some research on that. That's a good learning moment. And if you guys know, let me know. I can always learn from you guys in the comments, and it's always nice when you share your knowledge as well. Another figure, I know I just said earlier, I don't pick a lot, I pick up a lot of figurines, but when they're unusual and in really good shape, and in this case, this just has a beautiful fall-like decor. It would really, really look good for that side table that you don't need a whole lot, but you could set something like this on that side table and enjoy it. It gives you a little bit of fall without going overboard, and it would last all the way through Thanksgiving. And it is an Andrea by Sadak piece too. I wanted to double check that. And I don't know what kind of bird this is. I was going to say pheasant, but I think a pheasant tail feathers are longer. Could be wrong about that. But this piece did come with its wood stand also, which I thought was really neat. I did pick up a lot of cool pieces, but this is my very favorite. This is a handmade pottery piece that is, as far as I can tell, unsigned, and it's a box. There are no discrepancies, and this piece here is metal. I will be completely upfront and honest. I might have to hold on to this for a while. This is the kind of thing that I love. It's handmade, it's unique. You're probably never going to see another one. And when someone comes in your home and they see this on your shelving unit, they're probably going to pause and think, what's that? So it's that conversation piece that I think is really fun and really interesting. Let's show you the last mustache mug. This one, it's silver plate, and it is definitely feminine, more feminine with the flower cut out there. But I've just never seen anything like this in a silver plate, and I loved it. And actually, the verdict's still out on brass. Do you shine it? Do you keep the natural patina? Sterling, do you shine it? Or this is plate. Do you shine it or keep the natural patina? And I've always been a natural patina kind of girl in across the board. It's something that I really like. But I have shined up some brass pieces, and I have shined up some plated and sterling pieces. And, I'm going to have to just say it's whatever you like the best. There is no right or wrong there. But I do like that dark tarnished silver. For some reason, I'm really drawn to it. This is actually brass, and I don't think it's particularly old either, but it is really cool, and it's just a shelf sitter, would be on really great on a stack of books. Another piece of pottery. That handle had me. No way was I leaving this. And this is a little picture, but of course I'm going to tell you, pop some flowers in there all day, every day. It's a great little vase. And the colorway on this is really what sort of did it for me. Started to rain, and it got really dark really quick. So I am going to go ahead and finish. I apologize that the lighting changed drastically. This is probably 1990s vintage Santa, maybe 80s vintage Santa, and he still works. He's a music box, and I've always loved Santas anyway. I used to actually collect Santas, and I had a huge collection, and through the years I stopped doing that, and I guess kept a handful, but you know, gave away or disposed of the larger collection, and I really do wish that I had that collection back. These are handmade wooden earrings, and I can tell you they're raw edged. I can tell you the type of wood because it tells me on the little tag. This is actually cherry wood, and they are really, really beautiful. I love that raw edge. I also picked up a pair of posts that I didn't bring out for the video because, you know, they're kind of the same, just the post or the dangle, but the posts are actually burl wood. So they are a different kind of wood, but they look real similar. This is a picture frame. It is brass, and this is inlay. This is mosaic inlay, stone all the way across, and it's gonna be a hard give up because I really like this little guy. Gosh, guys, it is so dark all of a sudden. Another picture frame. And you know, I just said earlier, I don't pick up a lot of picture frames, and I picked up several. This was that other piece of that blue glass that I got. This is a bigger compote. It does glow under black light. Bookends for the win. These are wooden hand-carved bookends, and I do have the other pair. Bookends are something that are a favorite of mine. I love books. I love to decorate with books, and so I display my booths with a lot of books. So bookends come in really handy for that, but I also think unique ones are a little bit harder and harder to find. Gonna go quick with these last three items because, whoa, I really lost daylight when it started raining. Paperweight, a pair of brass candle sconces because you just can't go wrong, and a trinket box. And this is made in, guys, it's just too dark for me to even see that. Anyway, it's some kind of a composite type of material, and it is really, really sweet. I love the oval shape. I loved all the floral details, and the box, the lid of the box comes all the way off. Guys, that's all we have for you today. We are going to end really quickly. If you stayed to the end, thank you. Thank you very much. We hope you have a great day, and we'll talk to you really soon.